Hey guys, how you doing? I'm out here taking a walk through my neighborhood. It's extremely peaceful. So you guys, I just want to say this, kudos. I commend my president for what he has been able to accomplish. But of course, I have to give all credit to Jesus Christ for that. You know, the reason why Donald Trump, why he's so successful, is because of this one key essential element. That is his belief in Jesus Christ. I know a lot of people may question his character, his lack of restraint, his choice of words. See, deeply and spiritually deeply, I don't care about what a person really says. I really don't care too much about what a person has done in their past. What I do is I judge a tree by its fruits. What does a person do? Now, actually, you know what? Let me retract the part where I said I don't care about what people say. Because, because what comes out of your mouth basically comes from your heart, right? I believe that's true. So I do care what people say, but I pay more attention to what they do. You know, there are tons of people who are saying that Donald Trump's a Nazi, that Donald Trump is going to bring us to the brink of nuclear war. Well. He shut your mouth, didn't he? He's proven the liars to be liars. Donald Trump talks a good game, he backs it up. Why do I like Trump? Maybe because there's a lot of similarities between him and I. I believe that if you say something, you stand on it. And you die keeping your word. That's why I like my president. You know what else I like about my president? Maybe I should walk this way. Oh, yeah, okay. You know what else I like about my president? It's that my president has done more for Christians than anyone else in history thus far. Why do I say that? Well, you guys remember when he actually had to sign an executive order to protect our religious freedom or religious liberties. And I remember he said, yes, it is definitely okay to say Merry Christmas. And also, with that executive order to protect our religious freedoms, he said that you don't have to worry about the government telling you what you can say. Besides that, you guys, there's something else I could say that may be as equally important. Is this the passivity that's in the church, the body? I know I espouse on this quite often on my channel. What I'm trying to figure out is where has this spirit of timidity, the spirit of passivity, where has it come from? Where has it become so acceptable to have a small view of God? In order, and also, if you have a small view of God, you would do small things. It seems that today, having big faith is a crime. Because a person with a small mind cannot understand a person who dreams big. And only a person who dreams big can understand a person who dreams big, but also a person who dreams big can also understand a person who thinks small. It's not the other way around. If you think small, you can't understand a person that thinks big. But that person that thinks big can understand where you're coming from, and he can actually see your error. I know I've said this before a lot too. It's become a cliche. All thought is not equal. People are born equal, but all thoughts, it's not equal. You know, you guys, I don't want to get too philosophical or anything like that, but it seems like the church, or a majority of the people, it troubles me when I hear people say, well, I'm just a Christian, and all I have to do is do what Christ told me to do, and that will be influential enough because I'm walking in obedience, and so I hate politics. I don't want to get involved in politics. And then, right after they say something like that, they usually turn around and complain about the current condition of their country. Or they complain about certain laws that have been implemented. Or they complain about the culture or the trends. Kind of crazy, but yet they decided to be a pacifist. If I'm not mistaken, you guys, okay, I could have sworn that Jesus Christ was taken to Pontius Pilate. Was he not? He was. And what did Jesus Christ tell Pontius Pilate? The only authority you have over me is what has been given to you. You know, it's kind of crazy too, how a lot of Christians say, well, I don't want to be involved in politics, because you don't mix religion and state. There's a separation between church and state, which is not in the Constitution. And so that's another big misconception anyway. But anyway, I'm sorry. If you look at the Old Testament, actually, I'm not sorry, but if you look at the Old Testament, how many kings did they have? There were good and there were evil. Tons of them. These kings were the rulers of these nations, and God wanted these rulers to submit to him. Right? Am I right or am I wrong? Anyway, let's fast forward to the New Testament. So we got the New Testament. Christ says that he has not come to do away with the law, but to fulfill it. Right? But Christ also says in a prayer, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Very interesting. Also, when you take our great apostles, our first fathers of the church, a lot of them, especially, you know what? Okay, here, let's narrow it down. Let's look at Paul. Paul did 3 great missionary journeys. You guys, didn't Paul go before rulers or those who had authority, people who had great influence? I could have sworn he did. And Paul did not shy away from what God put before him, which were tremendous feats. But you know what? Doesn't that remind you of something? Didn't Moses go before Pharaoh? Wow. But you know what? Hey, you're supposed to keep, God completely separated from government. Last time I checked, Paul says in Romans that all government comes from God. Last time I checked, Jesus Christ has been given all rule and authority. Also, last time I checked. The Bible also says to let your light shine bright, right? To shine bright so that everyone can see. So that everyone can see. Also, to remain salty, right? To remain salty. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you guys to think critically about this. We can get philosophical, we can get theoretical if you want, but I want you guys to think deeply about this. Who do you think has the greatest influence? A Christian who goes and he witnesses to a select few in a small village? Or do you think the one that has more influence is the one who actually goes to the ruler and he lets his light shine bright? Which one you think is going to have more of an influence? And if you chose option B, you are 100% absolutely correct. Let me give you guys an amazing illustration just to sum this up, to properly conclude this video. Let's do a compare and contrast, and this is a stark compare and contrast, okay? Let's look at Barack Obama. Barack Obama was the people's president, not our president, not those who have a God conscious or a God complex, not our president. We were able to see through him. But even though he did become the official president of the United States, right? It's a hard pill to swallow. But anyway, what did Barack Obama do? He brought nothing but grave perversion to the United States. He had tours of appeasement and apology, shunning Christianity, talking bad about Christianity and American exceptionalism, and kissing butt, paying hush money, basically. He allowed the Muslim Brotherhood to infiltrate the White House, which Obama was a Muslim. Because every time he went before councils of Muslims, he would always make references to the Quran. And then also, he would make references to Muhammad as holy, and he's the prophet. No true God-fearing Christian would ever do such a thing. But what did Barack Obama do? He said, well, we can have gay marriage. And look at what followed after that. Look at the repercussions. Look at the ramifications. And what were some of those repercussions, ramifications? And also, by him race baiting, our country became separated. We fell even more in debt. Morale was at an all-time low. Destruction in America just became more prevalent. And then morale just fell to an all-time low. What does that remind you of when you actually look at those fake rulers? Okay? They were real rulers, but they were fake. They had fake hearts with God. What does it remind you of in the Old Testament? Doesn't it remind you of all of those wicked, godless rulers? And whenever they ruled, their countries fell apart. Then all of a sudden, to restore Israel from the ashes of corruption, you have this one ruler that comes, and his heart is completely contrite. His heart is right with God. And all of a sudden, he has reverence for the word. He has reverence for God. And all of a sudden, God heals their country. Well, you guys, you're looking at Donald Trump. This is the reason why he's been able to accomplish so many things. It's because he is a president that has had numerous amounts of evangelicals to pray over him. And all he has to do is remain submitted to God, and he will heal our lands. See, all truth is coming out. Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
See, all the truth that's coming out, the deep state, all the corruption, all the people you used to like who were celebrities, their true hearts or their godlessness is being revealed for the entire world to see. And those who are evil, who are hurling insults at our ruler, they are being put to shame each and every day right before our eyes. I mean, our president just met with Kim Jong-un. Wow. These godless people wish they would have been able to do what our president has done. So you guys, God picked him for a reason. And God picked him to give us more years of grace. Because if Donald Trump would have never gotten into that White House, we would be a third world country on the brink of collapse if that godless woman would have gotten into that White House. I always want to bring everything back to the scriptures. And I want the Bible to be my lens. So when a Christian who says they believe in Christ and they don't want to get involved in politics, when politics is an archetype of life and it influences your life, either you believe in it or if it doesn't. And the sad fact is this, is that if you don't control politics, somebody will control your politics. Jesus Christ never ever said that you cannot be a ruler. He said we'll be able to do more. I'm not against a Christian theocracy. But then a lot of people say, well, if you look at a Christian theocracy, look what actually happened. Well, let me just tell you something. Those theocracies weren't Christian. Were they? Absolutely not. They did not capture the heart of Christ. But you know which country that started off as a theocracy that did capture the heart of Christ? It is this country. Right now, where I'm walking down the street with my Christian ancestors, escaped from tyranny to come here, and they found a new home. And this was the building blocks, and they started this building block on Christ. And we have Christians here talking about, I don't want to get involved in politics, when they don't even know their true history. That when schools even started in the United States, that every student was given a Bible. They had prayer in school. They have forgotten that our laws are based on the 10 Commandments that used to sit in front of the Supreme Court. People have forgotten. They have forgotten. Because we have liberal revisionist professors who are teaching this malarkey to our children. And now Christians are even rendered ineffective, and they are taught this commercialized Christianity that makes them weak, that makes them people of small faith. You know, it really does trip me out when I come across these passive Christians and how all of a sudden they get all puffed up and they say, well, I'm not involved in politics because I'm too busy doing the will of Christ. Really? You're doing the will of Christ by being a coward? Or how about this? Say, well, I don't want to point any fingers or choose any sides or anything like that. Well, you chose a side when you decided to be a Christian. You going to stand up for the whole world to see that you love Christ or not? You going to declare to the world that Jesus is God? Can you go to your congressman and let them know that you are a Christian and you can actually stand on biblical principle and express yourself as a Christian? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. You know, what's wrong with the church today is that there are so many Christians who are hiding behind religiosity. And I see right through them. I see right through them. I see that cowardly spirit that's not from Christ. They're not roaring like lions. Not from the lion of, they're not cubs of the Lion of Judah. I don't know where they get their spirits from. There's no way a person can be compassionate part of Christ and keep silent about how lawless this world is becoming and say, I don't want to get involved in politics when they know that politics influences everyone's lives. Can you imagine if Christians were all in politics, how great this country would be, how great this world would be, and we actually surrendered to the Bible? They will say, well, you know what? That's a dream. Let me tell you something. If it's God's will, anything is possible. I refuse to be one of those passive, cowardly Christians who wants to hide behind religiosity and then also make excuses. No. Christ has called us to spread the gospel, to be his ambassadors. A lot of people want to hide their light. But as far as me, I'm going to let my light shine bright. As I said before, I'm not perfect. Neither was Moses. Neither was David. Neither was Solomon. Neither was any of those guys that Jesus Christ, our God, chose to be his ambassador. None of them were perfect. But you know what? They never wavered in their faith. What I see today in a body on a continual basis every day makes me mentally and spiritually vexed. And sometimes I feel like I'm working in vain. But then I have to realize, wait, I don't work for people. I work for my Father. I want my Father by the time I get to heaven to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. And he puts a crown on my head because I've had that dream. I've had lioness actually tell me that this is what they've seen too. It's been confirmed. I'm a child of Jesus Christ. I don't know about them. But anyway, you guys, let me get inside my house. Nice stroll. You guys have a good one. God bless you. Oh yeah, you guys, I'm going to be taking my videos, which I already have. I downloaded them all from YouTube, and I'm going to be putting them on my Patreon account. So you guys look at the bottom of the description, okay, for the link, and also in the comment section, okay? You guys stay blessed, and thank you guys so much for your encouragement. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one. Amen.